Hello, dear ones. I'm often asked, why do we need a shamanic course? We're modern people living in a modern world. So why do we need knowledge about spirits? Indeed, it seems that this knowledge would be outdated, but it isn't. There is such a thing as practical shamanism, where you can change your life with the help of shamanic knowledge. Change the past and the future. Improve your relationships with your loved ones. Avoid all quarrels and conflicts, and even forget about them forever. Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be successful and beautiful? Do you want your relatives, your loved ones, your close friends to smile at you, understand you with half a word, and always live in abundance? Really? Are you sure? If you really want this, then shamanic knowledge is for you. It is not outdated. It was not invented by some wild people from caves or forests. No. Shamanic knowledge is the knowledge about our life, about how to be healthy, beautiful, successful, and young. How to give love to our dear ones, and how to build our lives the way we want them. If you're ready to learn this, join our shamanic course. Everything is in your hands, and the spirits will help you. Do you know what your purpose is? Do you know why you were born into this world? Why did you incarnate in this very body, at this very time, with these very people? Understanding the meaning of life and unraveling the mystery of our mission is one of the most important questions that people come to our seminars with. Do you know that out of 3 diagnostics, 2 are always diagnostics of destiny? Of course, everyone is interested in knowing their destiny, but how do you understand it? Your destiny is governed by the soul Aiyy. This is the soul given to us by God, the eternal Tengri. It is depicted as an eye. It is the eye of wisdom that looks down on us and sees everything, all your past and your future. Have you ever heard of the third eye? That is the soul Aiyy. It's your clairvoyance, your supernatural abilities. And if your soul Aiyy is very strong, it means you have a very high spiritual destiny. It means that you have highly developed supernatural abilities. Tell me, have you ever felt that you are capable of more? Have you ever felt that you can move mountains and are capable of doing much more than you are doing now? This indicates that your soul Aiyy is highly developed. And this is the absolute truth. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here right now watching this video. You wouldn't be interested at all. But if you are interested in your development, your spiritual path, it means the spirit Aiyy is calling you. After all, the soul Aiyy is responsible for our development. You know, once a woman came to one of our seminars. This woman was already over 50 years old. She had raised children and grandchildren. They all left her, gone to different cities and countries. She was left completely alone. Her husband had already passed away, and she didn't know what to do with herself. She felt she lived her life in vain. The children had left, and she didn't feel fulfilled. But inside, she felt capable of achieving something. And so she went for a destiny diagnosis, where she found out that actually she has a very strong healing gift. This amazed Teresa so much. She understood where such a huge desire to help people in life came from. She always supported her children, and one hug from her could heal a person. But it turns out she didn't know how to heal people properly. And when she helped them, she took on their illnesses herself. Moreover, there were even situations where she took the illness from one child, then talked to another, and passed on their illness to the next. Unfortunately, this is possible if you have a healing gift and don't know how to heal properly. Don't know how to communicate with spirits? How to cleanse yourself of negative energy? Often such healers, absorbing the illnesses of some people, do pass them on to others. As soon as we saw Teresa's healing gift, we immediately invited her to a seminar at the sacred place. We started training with her, telling her how to interact with the elements, how to draw power from the spirits, and how to cleanse herself of all negative energy. And you know what? She wanted to help people so much that she started traveling with the shaman to different cities and countries. Yes, despite the fact that most of our volunteers and assistants are young people from 20 to 30 years old, Teresa wasn't at all embarrassed by this. She's 52 years old, but she's full of life energy. The soul Aiyy calls her for the realization of her destiny. And already now, 3 years later, she's a very strong shamaness and healer. She helps many people in many different countries, healing them from serious illnesses, even cancer. So, if you feel power within yourself, if you feel a call within yourself, a call to accomplish great deeds, it's the soul Aiyy calling you for the realization of your destiny. Are you ready to know it? Then get ready for a very deep practice right now.
I feel 20 years younger after your practices. When I came to work, my colleagues started asking which beauty salon I had been to because I looked so much better. It's because I follow your recommendations every day. I'm so grateful to you. You brought love back into my life. For 15 whole years, I was a lonely widow, and I never even hoped that a worthy man would appear in my life. But literally 3 days after your practices, I met him, and for our first date, he suggested going to the beach. I liked a beachfront house, and I told him about it. You can't imagine. Now I live there. He gave it to me as a gift. It's unbelievable. I wanted more women to be as happy as I am. So I invited my female friends to this villa, and we practiced your methods together. Miracles already began to happen to them too. I'll invite even more women because I see how it makes my life better too.
Soul Aiyy practice. First, inhale very deeply. Now, calmly and slowly exhale. Allow your body to completely relax and feel how the sounds of music of transformation carry you away. Your breathing is free and deep. Now, imagine above your head the boundless starry sky. When you raise your eyes, you see billions upon billions of stars, constellations, galaxies. They stare at you from the infinite starry space. And you realize that it's not you looking at the starry sky. It's God Tengri himself, gazing at you with billions of his eyes. And then, one particularly bright star captures all your attention. You stare at it attentively, without blinking, without averting your gaze. And in that moment, you understand that star is your soul Aiyy. Your consciousness moves towards the stars in the sky. And now, you're looking down from the heavens at the earth. You see the planet Earth spread out before you. You can see hundreds and thousands of people everywhere. In the cities, you can see everyone hurrying and rushing to nowhere, running to work, getting into their cars, endless streams of cars, rushing through the city and cutting through space. Millions of people who are constantly in a hurry. People who are so preoccupied with their own affairs that they don't notice anything around them. They live amidst crowds of people, but don't see anyone. They live alongside nature, but don't see or feel the trees. They don't see the flowers, the mountains, or the rivers. These people, who are surrounded every hour of the day by thousands of other people, are constantly lonely. They are so absorbed in themselves, their gaze turned down to their feet, to their phones, to documents, or to computers. They don't notice each other, even though they live in the same house. They eat silently and watch television silently. They mechanically engage in sex, mechanically start families and have children. Looking down on them from above, it seems to you that they are not humans, but robots. And then you notice how one man has stepped on a woman's foot on public transport. This makes her raise her eyes from her phone, look at him, and start scolding him. People only break away from their tasks to argue with each other. You look into every home, into every apartment, and see that everyone is arguing. Scandals, conflicts, fights, and even murders happen in families. You look at this world. You look at our Earth, and you feel immense compassion and pain for all the people living there. Everyone is so absorbed in themselves, their gaze directed down to their feet, to their phones, or to computers. And no one lifts their eyes to the sky. No one strives to see God. No one wishes to understand what lies beyond their narrow little world. And then you see one person on Earth whose gaze is turned to the sky. That person is you. You're standing on planet Earth and looking at the stars. You aspire to the highest. You want to unravel the mystery of the universe. You want to understand the meaning of life and your purpose. And right now, looking down on the whole world from above, you understand why you were born on this planet. You are the one who looks up at the sky. You are the one who looks at the gods. Your purpose is to awaken all of these sleeping people. Your purpose is to help them lift their eyes to the sky. Your purpose is to help all people of the earth to see God. And now, you realize finally your life's mission, and an immense feeling of joy begins to fill your entire being. With your consciousness, you return to the person standing on the earth and looking up at the sky. You've understood your purpose, and you can't keep your excitement and shouts of joy all to yourself. Your soul rejoices, and you start to dance. Dance the dance of joy and happiness. You shine like a star yourself, and your shine illuminates all of the spaces around you. You know why you were born here. You were born to illuminate people's faces with your light. You were born to melt their hearts with your smile. You were born to help people. That is your purpose. And you start involving the people around you in your dance. You see them aimlessly wandering on the streets, glued to their phones, preoccupied with their own affairs, their own problems. You smile at every person you meet in life, and your open, bright smile reflects back at you on their faces. People seem to wake from their sleep, and they start smiling back at you. You compliment them and say kind words. You inspire them to try for new victories and higher achievements. You help them see God. You show people the stars. You teach them to pray, to feel the higher energies. You bring light and love into this world. You involve even more people in your dance of joy. And now you can see how the dozens have turned into hundreds, and hundreds of people are repeating your movements. They are ready to follow you, and you are the conductor of divine power. Already, thousands and thousands of people are dancing right along with you, repeating your every move. And and you share your happiness. You share your love with them, joyfully and freely. You dance. You rejoice. You laugh and have fun. You invite them to join you in sacred places, to join you at seminars, to come with you to classes. You make this world a better place. You know that you were born for this. This is your purpose. Say it out loud and affirm it. I make this world better. I give people light and love. I am the conductor of divine power, and this is my purpose. Well, have you returned, or are you still flying in space? Congratulations! You have felt the spirit of Aiyy within yourself. That spirit that leads you to development, to perfection, to the understanding of the universe and the entire world. And did you know that all our shamans, all the teachers, and even the organizers in every city have a very strong spirit of Aiyy? These are the people who help others, those who hear the call of the spirits and channel the will of the bright powers through themselves. If you feel power and energy within yourself, help people. You can easily become our representative in your city. You can even teach this very course. Everything is in your hands, dear ones. Learn from our representatives what you can do, how you can help. Everything will work out for you. A great destiny awaits you.
I've had my own wellness center for over 15 years. The last 5 years have been tough. Fewer clients, I started getting sick, suffering from insomnia. At most, I could sleep 1 to 2 hours each night. All my biorhythms were disrupted. But then a miracle happened. When I met you, I felt so much power and inspiration. And on the very first night after working with you, I slept for 7 hours. Can you believe it? I started sharing your knowledge, sending links to channels with practices, and my previous clients came back to me. Now my center is thriving, and I want to open a second one.
Invite your friends and acquaintances here. Share the link to this video with them. The more we are, the faster we will save the world. If you want to receive a gift, special music of cosmic frequency, leave your contact info, follow the link, and we will send you a gift to your email. You will be amazed by the powerful, beneficial effect of this music, which was tested in scientific institutes and ancient temples.
In our extreme times, when the fate of the entire planet is at stake, it is crucial for the knowledge of angels and benevolent spirits to spread as quickly as possible, globally, and reach thousands of people. In this way, we can change the future of all humanity. Which is why we are addressing you, dear soul of light. Spread the knowledge about our wise books and films. Share links to videos or cartoons. All of this is available and free. Invite women to individual practices, webinars, and seminars. And the Great Spirit of Light will help you and your family. It will direct an enormous amount of energy to fulfill all your desires. benevolent spirits and angels will assist you and your loved ones in all matters. A thread of light and love extends from your heart to the hearts of thirsty women, and the creation of good and the dissemination of enlightened knowledge throughout the world begins. Become part of the mission of light. Help people, and God will help you.
Can spirituality have a negative impact on your life? Greetings to you, wise seeker of truth. Do you want to know the answer to this question? Often for us, the spiritual path is a journey of improvement, development, prosperity, and a path to God. And indeed, it is so, if it is a genuine spiritual path. However, many are mistaken, because many people think that they are on a spiritual path, sincerely believing in it. But often, it is not the case. There are many fake teachers, channelers, fake gurus in the world who talk about God, about the spiritual path, but actually they plunge us into even greater suffering and life difficulties. Do you want to know how this happens? The answers to all your questions are in this video. Watch it to the end, and you will learn how to recognize a true spiritual master from a fake one. Are you ready? Then listen carefully. Feel your heart now. Place your hands on your chest and feel how it beats. By the end of this video, your heartbeat will be completely different. Remember now how your heart beats in your chest. Tune into it and wish happiness to all the people in the world. To everyone watching this video right now, say, "Be happy." Few days ago, we received a letter from one of our students, Matilda. She read that fear is simply the absence of God's love, and that one of the gurus she read about online encourages us to be fearless. She decided to follow his advice and stop paying for utilities in her home, for electricity, water. She said, "I am canceling the fake contract made with them. I do not accept this reality, because this guru teaches that each of us lives in our own reality." Everyone can choose their own reality in which they want to live. This is the freedom of spirit, dictated by cosmos canons. So claims the guru she read about on the internet. Wishing to create her own reality, Matilda stopped paying for electricity, water, and all the utilities of her home. After a while, she began to receive complaints and lawsuits. She denied them. In her reality, they did not exist. She did not respond to any complaints. The court proceedings went on without her. Eventually, her electricity and water were disconnected, not only in her home, but also in her parents' house, where she also stopped paying for utilities. They were left without electricity, water, and heating in winter. And then Matilda was conflicted. How is this possible? I do not accept this reality. Why did this reality arise in my life? I do not accept that I have to pay for utilities. This agreement imposed on me is something I refuse to accept. I want to shine with love for the whole world, and then no problems will touch me. She was convinced of this because, following the teachings of the fake guru on the internet, she thought she would achieve her own reality, in which she had the right to live. Finding herself in a terrible situation created for herself and her parents, she sought help. How can I understand everything correctly? Maybe I'm misunderstanding something, Matilda asked. Dear one, let's analyze this example to understand how to correctly interpret messages from God. Who are the channelers? And should we believe in people who claim to communicate with the higher mind, spirits, angels, or God himself? The first and most important thing we need to understand is that, regardless of the connection a person establishes, the key is not the connection to the source, but the conductor of energy. Imagine a 5-year-old who has entered into contact with God. God imparts truth and knowledge. But how can a 5-year-old express it, draw a picture, or try to explain something in their childish language? Perhaps he can already write some letters. Then he will try to express the truth and write a book or a sentence, or at least a word. Indeed, the mind and abilities of a child are not yet prepared to comprehend such truth, and, most importantly, to conduct and convey it to people. How often do insane people, called holy fools, come into contact with the higher mind and God, saying that they really feel spirits, that God talks to them, but because they are insane, they cannot express it. Often they end up in a mental hospital for mandatory treatment, and perhaps, in their words, there may be even a grain of truth. And they may talk about some important spiritual issues, but it doesn't fit into the single system and structure, because the mind of a mentally ill person is not prepared to convey the truth of the higher mind. Therefore, the knowledge that a person brings to the earth depends not on the level of contact he has made, not on the source of knowledge, but on the channeler themselves and their readiness to convey the truth through themselves. When Buddha, meditating under the Bodhi tree, prayed and appealed to the higher mind, the great knowledge of Buddhism descended upon him. Until that moment, Buddha had gone through a very difficult spiritual path. He mastered all knowledge and teachings. And when his mind was ready to perceive the truth of that level, God revealed Buddhism to him. Buddha, possessing the ability, was able to convey it, explaining to people all the years of his wandering and travels. His teaching, Buddha passed on the truth little by little. His disciples, writing down and passing on the wisdom by word of mouth, brought it for many millennia. And to this day, the teachings of Buddhism, though in fragmentary form, have been preserved. This has been the case with every teaching. With the teachings of Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, each religion came through a conductor of the truth, who for many years studied the wise holy masters in temples, ashrams, traveling and roaming, seeking the truth, tuning into it, and only then could he bring forth the people of this world. And if a person does not possess enough knowledge and preparation, if their mind, feelings, emotions, heart are not ready to perceive and convey the truth that the higher mind wants to convey to the people of humanity, then all their knowledge is simply fragmentary pieces. Here is a fragment of truth. There is another. They do not connect in a single system, which is why people are unable to apply them. Followers of such fake gurus interpret these fragments of knowledge in their own way and adjust them to their own beliefs as it is convenient for them, as they like. Matilda decided not to pay for utilities, and attaching to this a divine idea that everyone can live in their own reality, completely refused to perceive the true reality. Indeed, that's how it is. Each person lives in their own reality. This reality is not created by us. It is imposed on us by upbringing, parents, school teachers, advertising, nationality, television, and everything that surrounds us from childhood. One reality or another has been imposed on us. That's why everyone lives in their own reality. But it is illusory. It does not correspond to reality. And if that fake guru, that channeler who spoke about this, had gathered all the knowledge to the end, he would have told Matilda that it is necessary to get rid of this fake reality, to see that you live in your illusory world. to break free from this illusion and learn to see the world in a true, realistic way. After all, reality is one, but to see it is a true miracle. To see reality, to start living in reality, in the moment, here and now, that's the real miracle that can happen. After all, how do true miracles happen? Miracles happen to those who turn to the higher mind, to God, with a prayer. Lord, help me to develop. I want to come to you so much. I want so much to serve you and to help other people. Lord, deliver me from everything that hinders my development. If a person prays to God in this way, then the Lord performs real miracles for them. It is not enough to just shape one or another reality in your thought forms. It is necessary to gain the support of the universe. And to do this, by appealing to the universe, ask to be freed from everything that hinders your spiritual development. And then the Lord will perform real miracles. That is why after our sessions and seminars, all those people who sincerely perform spiritual practices, who sincerely pray to the higher mind, spirits, and God, receive His support of the entire universe. Suddenly at work, all matters are magically solved. Suddenly, the loans you have to pay disappear. Suddenly, the apartment with which there were problems is given to you as a gift. Suddenly, loved ones with whom there were conflicts in relationships begin to appreciate and love you truly. Suddenly, doctors who told you about an incurable disease and possibly imminent death shrug their shoulders and say that you are completely healthy, and they don't know how this could have happened. Not long ago, your tests were terrible, and now you are absolutely healthy. Where do these miracles come from? These miracles happen to those people who sincerely perform spiritual practices, help other people, and truly pray to the higher spirits and mind. Do you want to learn this too? Do you want to know how it happens? Then be sure to attend our sessions and seminars. Start by performing spiritual practices. There are plenty of them on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell button, share this video with friends. And don't forget to give it a like, so that as many people as possible can come out of illusion, learn to truly see the world, and become truly happy. After all, only then will miracles begin to happen in your life. It is necessary to grasp the entirety of knowledge, all fragments, all teachings, all religions. All of this is laid out in our books. Make sure to read our books, watch the animated films, and perform spiritual practices. After all these are fragments of knowledge, gathered into a single system, into a unified mosaic of God, that will give you a complete understanding of the world. Everything you have studied before will finally fit into a single picture. Check it out. If this picture has not come together, then read more books. There are plenty of them on our website. Read them all, and not just once, because each carries that piece of truth that can truly change your life. And when you are prepared to perceive higher knowledge from the higher mind, from angels, from God, this knowledge will descend upon you. Be very selective about the knowledge you find on the internet, the knowledge you acquire around you and everywhere. Remember that the most important thing is the conductor who conveys it. And for additional clarity, here is another example. We all know that Mendeleev saw his periodic table in a dream. It appeared to him, and he instantly understood how to fit all the chemical elements on Earth into a single table. Why? Because his mind was ready for this. He contemplated it for many years. And imagine that the same table appeared in the dream of Mendeleev's coachman, a stableman who was absolutely not ready for such knowledge. For him, these were just incomprehensible numbers and letters. Yes, he saw in a dream the greatest knowledge, capable of uniting all the chemistry of the world, but he understood nothing. And if he tried to explain it, he would probably do it in a horse language, neighing, and completely incomprehensible to others. Therefore, dear one, be selective about the knowledge you accept. Remember, it is important to contemplate a lot about it. Because it is so easy to take the easy path, following the recommendations of various fake gurus who, boasting that they speak to God, communicate with spirits or angels, often give harmful or completely meaningless advice, such as wearing clothes of a certain color or changing your surname and name, and then everything will definitely change, or performing some preposterous deeds, walking around a tree several times, but without understanding the reality of the life we live in. Without true knowledge, all these meaningless and sometimes harmful pieces of advice can not only waste your time, but also ruin your life, disrupt your relationships with loved ones, or, like Matilda, leave you in a situation with a huge number of lawsuits and debts that she won't be able to repay for years, without electricity, heating for herself and her family. Remember that true knowledge is that from which you, by following, gain a complete understanding of the world's structure, find the true path to light, the spiritual path that will lead you to happiness. And a true master is one who has achieved perfection, reached the peaks of true knowledge of God. And now, placing your hands on your heart, listen again to its beating. Take a deep breath in and listen to the rhythm of your soul. Let your heartbeat be in harmony with the rhythm of the universe. Feel this pulsation. Now, pure knowledge, bright and wise, flows to you from the spirit egregore. May the truth be with you on all levels of existence. May a unified understanding of the structure of this world, the meaning of life, and your great purpose on earth descend upon you. Let it be so.
You are a disciple of a great spiritual school, which means nothing is impossible for you. You possess powerful knowledge, gathered bit by bit around the world, preserved in its pristine form by true shamans, priests, healers, and magicians. You have access to rituals that connect with higher energies and change lives in a matter of minutes. They heal even chronic illnesses, open the flow of luck, wealth, love, and heal the soul. You are the happiest woman on the planet. Now, everything in your life will be good. You are on the verge of discovering your greatest destiny. Most importantly, always remember the universal law. The more women unite in a unified space of love, kindness, and compassion, the faster the Earth will be saved. Let's save the planet together. We love you. We are waiting for you. We hope for your help. The more of us, the faster we will save the world.
What's your name?
Anya and Vanya.
Traveling and holding charity events around the world, I often visit very poor neighborhoods where people are deprived of basic things: food, water, and means of communication. You're nice, but I didn't bring you anything. I didn't even know you existed. Can I wash my hands? I just stroked the dog. There's no water here.
It's just frozen in the pipes.
Really?
Yes.
But why?
Well, it's cold.
So they have to fix it somehow. How long have you had no water? They just shut it off until I pay my debts. The children very often have to earn money themselves. For example, the girl paints stones, sells them, and gets money for her family. What do you like? What would you like to eat? For example, yogurt, or maybe you like fruit, sweets, cake. I'm used to seeing children who don't know what they like because they simply have no opportunity to choose. They're happy to have anything. It's so easy to make them happy. Thank you for all of this. I also come from a very poor family. I know what it's like. I actually lived in the village. The most important thing is to keep trying and not stop. A successful person is not someone who succeeds but doesn't give up. So guys, you should really try. You're really talented and active. I see it clearly right now. You're so beautiful, so when people react to you, they'll always smile at you, and you smile at them too. Say nice words to people. They will be ready to do everything for you at once. You need to learn how to pay compliments. It is the most important thing, and it will take you anywhere. Say nice things to people. You'll really make it. I feel it. I know it. My dear, we've just visited several families. You know, I noticed that the children in these families are very friendly. They're so friendly, smiling, and nice that I actually wanted to stay with them. I wanted to do something nice for them. I asked them what they would ask Santa Claus for, what wishes they had. I want to come again and help them. But I also noticed that there is some kind of restriction inside. Like, we're so poor, we will always live like this. And that scared me a lot. I really want each of us, no matter what state or situation we're in, to remember that everything will work out in this life. That the winner is not the one who always succeeds. The winner is the one who gets up every time after he falls down. We will all fall. The most important thing is to get up, shake it off, and move on. Then you will succeed, and you will be great. I want to thank you, my dear. It is really thanks to you that we can do good all over the earth, in different cities and countries. It's all because of your alms. Hey, doggy. Good boy. You also want some food. We're going to help him now. Yes, sweetie. My dear, you can help everyone. Homeless animals and people who need you. Maybe it's the grandmother who lives next door. Maybe it's a low-income family. And just by coming to our seminars and classes, you have already become a philanthropist, because we direct all the funds from our seminars to charity. We help those in need. Do good, and may this world be a better place.
Secrets of the Shamanic World. Beyond the walls of the Chadir, a snowstorm raged, while inside, the fire crackled in the hearth. The northern Cam set aside the Jew's harp and, raising his hands to the fire, began to speak to Sao Shiant.
Today I'll tell you how I became a Cam. It all began in my previous life. My elder brother and I lived together. He was 30 years old and I was 20. Our parents had passed away earlier. When I got married, living with my elder brother, that same year, a chestnut-colored foal was born to us. By all signs, the foal promised to become an excellent horse. In the autumn of that same year, I fell ill and died. However, while lying there lifeless, I could hear everything that people around me said. I felt as though I had fallen asleep, even though I couldn't move or say anything. I clearly heard them making the coffin and digging the grave. I lay there as if alive, grieving that they were preparing to bury me when I could still come back to life. But they placed me in the coffin, lowered me into the grave, and began to fill it with earth. I lay in the grave, and my soul wept and cried. You'll feel the same way when you die and find yourself utterly immobile. Suddenly, I heard someone above starting to break open the grave. I was overjoyed, thinking that it must be my elder brother, who, having realized that I was still alive, wanted to dig me out. Finally, the lid of the coffin opened and I saw 4 black men whom I had never seen before. They lifted me and, sitting my body on the coffin, turned me to face our house. I could see the fire in the window and smoke was coming from the chimney. Suddenly, from somewhere deep within the earth, I heard the roar of a locomotive. The roar grew louder and closer. Finally, the ground began to shake, which frightened me greatly. Emerging from the depths of the grave, a completely black bull appeared, with its horns nearly touching. The bull caught me between its horns and descended back through the same hole through which it had just ascended. We reached the place where the house stood. A voice, as if an old man's, was heard saying, "Hey, you guys, it seems our son brought a person. Come out quickly and bring his burden." Black, dry-looking people rushed out, took the person, carried him into the house, and sat me on the palm of the old man. The old man, holding me to determine my weight, said to those around, "Take him back upstairs. It appears that fate has appointed him to be conceived up there." The bull, again gripping me with its horns, carried me back up the old path and placed me in the same spot. This old man was Erlich. When I, a living dead, finally regained my senses, it was already night, and it was dark. After a while, a black raven suddenly flew in and, sticking its head between my legs, lifted me and flew up with me. There was an opening up there, and through it, we flew to another place. The sun and the moon were shining here as well, and the houses and barns were made of iron. The people here all had raven heads, but their bodies were human. Again from inside, a voice as if an old man's was heard saying, "Hey guys, our son seems to have brought a person. Come out and carry him." The guys who rushed out grabbed me and carried me into the house. They sat me on the palm of a gray-haired old man. The old man, feeling my weight on his palm, said, "Guys, take him and put him in the very top nest." This old man was Ulgen. There stood a large tree, the size of which was hard to compare to anything. Its top, I suppose, reached all the way to the sky. At the base of each of its branches were nests the size of a good stack of hay, covered with snow. They placed me in the topmost nest, where they put the white shamans of the sky. The black shamans of Erlich are placed in the lower nests of the world tree. When I lay down, a winged white reindeer landed and perched on the nest. The reindeer's teats came right into my mouth, and I began to suckle them. I lay there for exactly 3 years. The more I suckled the reindeer, the smaller and smaller my body became, until it finally became as small as a thimble. This reindeer was my mother animal, which nurtures the human coot. As I lay in my nest, one day I heard the voice of the same old man who had spoken to one of his sons. "Young man, go down to Middle-earth and return with a wife for yourself." One of his raven-headed sons descended. After some time, he returned, holding a woman with a sunburned face by her hair. Everyone was pleased with this event, and even held a feast and danced. Then I heard a voice saying, "Make sure that our son who lives in Middle-earth when he rises does not kidnap this woman. Hide her in the iron barn." Next, lying in my nest, I heard the thunder of a shamanic drum in Middle-earth, and the sounds of a song reached me. They gradually grew louder, coming closer and closer until finally the head of a person appeared in the exit hole from below. I saw a man of medium height, of graceful build, with already graying hair. As soon as he stood up, he placed the mallet of his drum against his forehead. Immediately, he turned into a bull with a single horn growing from the middle of his forehead. With one strike, he broke open the doors of the barn where the woman was locked, and together with her descended. Right after him, there were cries and wails, noise and commotion. This is how a shaman retrieves the stolen soul. Sur, the double of a person when spirits take it away. The old man's son descended to Middle-earth once again and brought out another fair-faced woman from there. They also hid her, shrinking her beforehand into a tiny insect of the earth, next to the central post of the yurt. However, once again, the sounds of the drum and the shaman singing were heard, and this time the shaman found the hidden woman by smashing the post where she was placed and carried her down. The old man's son descended for the third time and returned with the same woman. This time, the upper spirits were prepared in advance. They lit a fire at the exit hole and held burning firebrands in their hands. When the shaman appeared in the hole, they drove him back to the ground by striking him with the firebrands. Finally, as I lay in my nest for the third year, I heard the voice of the old man saying, "His years have been fulfilled. Now lower our child down to Middle-earth. Let him enter the woman with the name given by us, Northern Cam. And do not utter this name in the sacred month. Ar Sarga Atamat." And so, with songs and blessings, they lowered me down to Middle-earth. From that moment on, I lost consciousness and did not remember where or how I existed. Only when I reached the age of 5 did I recall everything in my memory. I remembered how I was born and lived on Earth before, how I was reborn above, and how I witnessed the shaman's manifestations there. At the age of 7, I was possessed by spirits, involuntarily singing and being initiated into service. At 8, I started doing shamanic rituals, performing sacred dances. At 9, I was already known, with rumors spreading about me. And at 12, I became a great shaman. It turned out I was born 15 miles away from where I originally lived in my first birth. My wife had already remarried. I visited my former brother, and the same chestnut foal that was born in the year of my death had become a famous horse. My relatives did not recognize me, and I did not reveal myself. One summer day, a host organized a Aiyy festival, the consecration of Kumis, accompanied by a ritual to uplift the souls of the livestock. I met there the same shaman who ascended upwards when I was in the nest. He recognized me immediately and said,
"The first time I assisted a shaman in raising the soul of a sick woman, I saw you lying in the nest on the 9th branch, nursing from your mother beast. That's when you peeked out of the nest."
Upon hearing these words, I said, Why are you revealing the secret of my birth? In response, he argued,
If you hold ill will against me, then destroy me, consume me. I was raised earlier on the 8th branch of that fir tree where you were nurtured. I must be reborn, nurtured by Karasuran, the Black Crow.
The higher a shaman is nurtured, the stronger they become in the realm of celestial spirits. The lower they are nurtured, the stronger they are in the realm of Erlik. Among the middle branches of the World Tree are the weakest shamans. Depending on the direction of their nest on the tree, they serve a particular god. East is Tengri, south is Ulgen, west is Umai, and north is Erlik. A shaman possesses an especially powerful kut and a freely soaring sur, not tied to the earth like other people. To become a shaman, one must not only be strong, but also lack earthly attachments to children, family, money, and not fear death. Then their sur double will be light, enabling them to embark on shamanic journeys through the worlds of dreams. During sleep, the sur of every person awakens and flies, traveling in the dream, shifting between the past and the future. In dreams without dreamings, it ventures into the realm of the unmanifested, the world of Tengri. When a shaman remembers during the day that the so-called reality is just a moment between a dream of the future and its transition into the past, they can remember in their dreams that they are asleep.
Doesn't reality exist?
It exists, but only for a moment.
Old Cam chuckled as he added logs to the fire.
And then, what has just been disappears and remains only in memory, only in the world of Erlik. Yet, a person's dreams and desires, when realized, become real and then begin to transform. You used to be a baby, and now you're an adult, and your infancy is just a memory. Your old age doesn't exist in the present yet, but it already exists in the future. A person is surrounded by the world of dreams, but they don't understand it. They don't realize that all their thoughts, memories, and dreams are part of the dream world. To travel freely within it, you must recognize that it's all a dream, and remember in your dream that you are asleep. Then you won't die after death, but you'll live just as you do in dreams, with the freedom to travel between worlds. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in Erlik's world, weighed down by your passions, attachments, and fears. The experience of free flight will be unknown to you. However, when you become self-aware in a dream without dreaming, you will be completely free from this world of forms, the world of births and deaths. You will comprehend the realm of Tengri Khan.
Invite your friends and acquaintances here. Share the link to this video with them. The more we are, the faster we will save the world. If you want to receive a gift, special music of cosmic frequency, leave your contact info, follow the link, and we will send you a gift to your email. You will be amazed by the powerful, beneficial effect of this music, which was tested in scientific institutes and ancient temples.
The most exciting adventure of your life. Cyclops and centaurs are waiting for you. Angels will be your guides to the world of miracles. Take the power. Become a warrior of light. Save the planet. Learn the secrets of little green men and life on other planets. How the gods create your destiny, and is it possible to change it? All the mysteries of humanity, life and death, angels and spirits in the animated masterpiece Life After Life.